we're going to get knocked down 10,000 times on the road to going after our dream. Like maybe 30,000 times. I don't know. It's insane how many times we get knocked down. And basically you have to look at like each time you're knocked down, it's like you're doing a rep. Like you're in the gym, literally like lifting a weight. And imagine lifting weights 30,000 times eventually. You're going to be like Popeye up in this bitch. I'm serious.
Yeah.
Welcome everybody back to another very special episode of Connection is Magic. And today I have one of my dearest friends in the world, without exaggeration, Zalma Bor.
Hi.
Hi.
Happy birthday.
Thank you so much. It's such an honor to be here with you on my birthday, dude. What?
I feel so lucky that this is what you wanted to do on your day. So thank you for having me.
I want you to lead the toast. Let's go.
Yeah, let's do this.
Let's go.
Let us give thanks for a brand new year. Let us give thanks for all of your amazing growth. There's just so much that I won't say on this recording, but you and I know all the different things that you've gone through and all the things that you've navigated so beautifully with such grace. And the fact that you get to do another year with all of those lessons learned, I can't imagine what's coming next. So a toast to one of many of all of the successes, all of the growth, and cheers to many blessings to come for staying the path and doing the soul work.
Bro, I don't even know what to do with that. Now we cheers. Okay. This has come up a lot, is like the idea of you don't want it to happen too fast because you won't be able to hold it. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Your like container's not big enough to hold the blessings that you want.
I feel like we talk about this a lot.
Isn't that such an important message for like the creative people that are listening and tuned into this? Because like I feel like everybody, myself included, yourself included, feels that along the journey. You
hear this just by what you're scrolling through online, that it feels like you can't do a normal day if you're not where you want to be. You can't go on that vacation. You can't take up that hobby because everything has to be for the mission, for the grind.
There's no peace there until you attain it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I think that in order for you to actually become the container that could hold said blessings, you have to be able to believe that you are worthy of those blessings. And what better way to show the universe that you're worthy than actually living your life?
Absolutely. Because how many years of your life as a creative have you spent waiting? Too many to, it's like embarrassing.
It's a sad number. Yeah. I would say easily like 9 years of just trying to nose to the grindstone, 2 of which I took a break because of burnout, which I think is a common thing. And
you ended up back in Ohio, just like I ended up back in Detroit.
Yeah, ran away back to the Midwest.
Yeah, in shambles, in shambles.
Thank God we did, though.
Because that was like the body shop. God was fixing us.
It was the body shop.
It was the body shop,
and I needed a lot of fixing. I don't know about you.
We were like almost totaled, both of us, like low key. And then we got spit back out and just better equipped.
Totally. I don't remember who I was talking to, but I was saying basically that I thought tunnel vision is just supposed to be a tool in your toolkit. Yeah. And not something that is a perpetuated constant state of, who you are and your disposition. Yes, occasionally I need to have super focus and call it tunnel vision. But equally, if not more, I would say it's more important. You have to attune yourself to the energy that it surrounds you. You just have to.
I totally agree.
That is why people do all of these action steps, do everything right, quote unquote, and don't get to where they want to be. And I think that's why we all collectively will look at 2 cases and say, why did that person get to where they were going and that person didn't? And for me, it boils down to energy.
For people listening that might not get the whole energy thing, it's like if you're dating. Everybody understands dating.
Yes.
If you're like too thirsty on a date, it's just not going to go well for you. Yeah. It's just, right?
How many times were you really wanting your crush to text you back, right? You're like obsessing. Every ding on your phone, you're like, God, is it them? Is it them?
Yep.
And the minute you go idle, the minute you get busy, or maybe you go see a friend, They text you.
Can't tell you how many times that happens.
They always text.
Yeah.
It is, everyone can understand that. Everyone can understand the, I tried and tried and tried. And then finally, when I gave up something, I had a breakthrough.
Exactly.
You hear it in people's pregnancies. You hear it in people finding their partners. And you've just about every entertainment success story.
Yeah.
There's always this moment where the hero is like, I give up. And then something happens. There is something to that. This is not just a pretty story we're telling. We're talking about what's going on behind the scenes with energy. Like I always call it energetic snapshots when we're talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
So when something goes well, take an energetic snapshot. How were you feeling? What were you thinking about? How much effort were you putting into it? And vice versa. When things are going crappy, again, take an energetic snapshot. How are you feeling? Are you feeling stressed? Are you doing things from a space of fear or neediness? Again, because it's just like that crush, like it might be somebody that you have good rapport with. When you send that email with neediness, even they're going to feel repelled by you. So part of this really is an energy game. And I think that coming back full circle to talk about how to be this container of your blessings while, still.
And how to expand that container.
And how to expand the container, exactly. Is understanding that energy game.
We're going to get knocked down 10,000 times on the road to going after our dream. Like maybe 30,000 times. I don't know. It's insane how many times we get knocked down. And basically you have to look at like each time you're knocked down, it's like you're doing a rep. Like you're in the gym, literally like lifting a weight. And imagine lifting weights 30,000 times eventually. You're going to be like Popeye up in this bitch. I'm serious.
Yeah.
So like I just want to say that.
I love that so much. That's so good. This gets into like a very deep ass conversation because you have to really know yourself and understand like what narrative you're playing out and if it's actually working for you. And what I mean by that is like, okay, if I go to the gym, obviously like there's going to be pain involved to building muscle, and there's going to be pain later to, get rid of the soreness and then go back into the gym. If I maintain like, oh, well, if it hurts, I'm not doing it. Well, that's really a me problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's not going to work.
Mm-hmm.
But if you at least accept that, oh, here's fundamentally like what's going on in my body. This is why it hurts, and it's a good thing because here's why. Well, then I can subscribe to that, and I'm down to have some pain for some gain. Cool.
Yeah.
But in a not so like physical sense, like when it comes to ideas or a project or whatever you're working on, like that's your dream or your business, it's so different because you don't have that soundboard that says like, well, your muscle's tearing and that's why it hurts, and then it's going to be built back, and that it's okay that you're in pain right now. There's nothing telling you that it's okay to be in pain while you're working, except for grind culture normalizing it. And that's what the part that I have an issue with.
Another term for it, which I like, is called hustle porn. Have you heard that?
No.
It's awesome. Hustle porn.
That's amazing.
That's all it is on IG. It's hustle porn.
That's so funny. Bringing it back to me, I'm trying to finish this music. I'm at that 10% mark that's needed to kind of push this to the finish line. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot at play for this example, because I'm also returning to music after taking a break, finding this part of the process really triggering. So I do have other stuff going on. That's
not just taking a break though, just to, like when we shared about this earlier, Ohio, we went back to Ohio and Detroit, right? And if you're referring to that, like we were pretty shattered during those.
Yeah, no, thank you. You're
Clarify.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's rename that.
Okay.
It wasn't a break.
Taking a break.
A break sounded like I was going on vacation and I knew I was returning, and that was not the case.
Me telling my girlfriend, I talked to a girl and I cheated on her. It's like a whole different thing. Let's just be clear.
Yeah, no, it wasn't a break. That was definitely like a cute, like, let's just keep it moving in this conversation. You're right.
A whole chapter there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So guys, quick backstory. I took a break from music because I've reached a point of burnout that I don't think anybody should get to.
That's 100.
More or less. And if you've been there, you probably know what I mean by that. So that was the only thing left to do. I had to take a break. My body would not survive it. Mm-hmm. I think it was either that or get physically ill, and that happens to people. So 100%. Thank God I listened. And it took 2 years to find my way back. And it's not that I told myself, okay, let's round this number out. 2 years. Like, it really just took 2 years before I even thought I wanted to like record with somebody seriously. Mm-hmm. That's where a lot of these triggers are coming from, because I'm fresh, about to like release music from this experience of quitting, essentially. I'm working through the triggers. I'm talking about admin stuff, bringing business people on, getting opinions from people that are not as they're not part of the creative process. They're part of the business side. Yeah. And then my brain thinks 10 steps ahead, just like anybody else. And I start feeling like, oh God, I don't know how I want to communicate this visually. I don't know how I want to release this so it has the best chance to be heard in a way that I think it deserves. Mm-hmm. And then I start feeling like, oh God. And then subconsciously, I think it just shuts down my creative channel. And then it becomes sort of a game, or like an egoic, like, okay, I have to finish this because I said I was going to finish it, and less about finishing telling the story from a heart-centered space. It's kind of like when you're triggered, there's sort of a film over whatever it is that you're doing. The minute something intrusive sneaks up, like, oh God, like, how are you going to release this music, for example? If that starts festering in my body as I'm trying to do my actionable step, I stop. All bets are off. Because I'm not going to muscle through that, because I already know, first of all, I don't want this energy imprinted in a recording. The minute I start feeling anxiety or an intrusive thought that's festering in a way that's causing me to feel stressed, or like, you know, like suddenly like I'm white knuckling things, and I stop and I bring it back and I coach myself off of that ledge. And it's like one of my mantras right now is, this time is different.
Oh, that's
right. I think a lot of people can relate to that one.
Man.
Grind culture would say, keep going, you know, suck it up. But I already know myself well enough to know that that doesn't work for me. And what if I did suck it up, and if I did listen to grind culture, I would have spent another 7 hours, who knows what, not liking anything that I'm recording, wasted a tremendous amount of time, and gone to bed disappointed.
How much of this upcoming release is tied to your self-worth?
Jeez. Okay. Honest answer?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Thank you for being honest.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that it's not like 0% tied to my worth.
I think pre-Ohio and Detroit, I think maybe 90% of what we were doing was tied to our self-worth.
I'm comfortable with saying that, yeah.
Yeah.
It was definitely a bigger number for sure.
Yeah. And I think that's maybe why there was so much pain when that crumbled. Here's what I think. Let me try and like answer this for us.
Yeah, do it.
But I feel like we're being more driven by spirit and less by ego now.
Yes.
When I was the guy behind the guy, I was representing artists, right? So I'm the guy behind the guy. And I was an ego, meaning like I was being totally led by ego, and I wasn't even the fucking front camera guy. I wasn't in front of the thing. Now I'm in front of the fucking camera, and I'm led by spirit more so, and less by ego. Is that fucking weird? No. Does that make sense though? It's totally ironic.
I don't think it's weird, actually.
Okay, explain why that's not weird.
Because you being on the spiritual path has led you to your actual true purpose, which is to be in front. It's like the universe or God. It was like, hey, by the way, you're actually the artist that you've been trying to manage the whole time.
When I was representing artists, I was literally looking at it like music is a form of medicine. Period.
Facts.
Heals, that whole thing. So I'm like, man, what a great thing to be able to, you know, find an artist that nobody knows about and be able to like help get that artist to a larger stage so that that artist could touch more people. So, and then I had my little part in that. But these conversations are medicinal. So it's like it's literally peeling the onion away to the most like purest essence of like what the mission has been the whole time.
For those of you that can't see me right now, I have a big smile on my face.
Bro. Eliminate the middleman. What are we doing?
If you can just imagine the feeling of how you want your partner or how your career, like whatever it is that you want, you can just picture the feeling and not get so crazy about the details, you know? it'll land you where you need to be. Like, that's why we're laughing about this right now. We're like, it's so crazy. You were the artist all along that you were trying to manage.
So
Number one.
So weird.
Number two, the medicinal aspect of it.
Yeah.
Hello, look at this. Look at the podcast you've made and created. Had you just put that on a list and delivered it to the universe, I don't think you pictured this as the outcome.
Never in a million years,
right.
Dude. That's the funniest thing.
And that's what's so cool about just at least getting clear on the feeling space of the things that you want and letting go of what you think it should look like.
Egoic versus spirit.
Egoic versus spirit.
Ego death. When your world crashes down around you, there's so much power in that because it puts you in touch with I don't give a fuck.
Please go into that more.
When I think of ego, I think of like clinginess. It's got to look this way. It's got like rigidity. Do you feel any of this?
Yeah,
it's like
it's rigid, a lot of fear.
Rigid, clingy, fear. I had so much of that.
I'm feeling it in my chest right now, like as you say.
Because you felt that as well.
Oh yeah. Mine lives in my chest. It just feels like a cage. Yeah. It's horrible.
You realize that when you turn left, you traverse, you careen off the cliff and like your car rolls 1,000 times and blows up. And then,
not blows up. But yeah.
There's a lot of examples of that. I think of like people that we know.
Totally.
There's like a North Star line you gave that you're kind of living your life by right now. This go round.
Oh, the mantra?
Yeah. What's the mantra?
This time is different.
That's so good. I want this to be my mantra for this next year. And it's
what is it?
Finding poise in my purpose.
Ooh. That's yummy. I like that.
As I'm continuing to build and grow.
Finding poise in my purpose.
Poise. And poise is important because poise can be interchangeable with grace. You see what I'm saying? So grace, poise.
Yeah.
So when it's like if I'm approaching a certain guest and it's not working right now, or if, I'm supposed to work with this artist and it's not working right now, or whatever, just continuing to just move forward gracefully. You lead with your heart. You lead with the purest intentions that you possibly can lead with and stand in your power. And just what comes and what goes away. And to me, that's poise.
I agree.
Yeah.
If you were to open that folder after I don't know how long of doing this work, you would see that every time something that you wanted actually happened, it came in a way you didn't expect. Like I think very rarely something's going to happen and it actually manifests in that way. I think the more skin in the game you have to that potential happening, the more likely it will be that it's going to happen in a way that you don't expect. The skin in the game that I have towards my music career is crazy, right? We're talking about since age 5 and 10 years professionally.
You got stripes. You've been here for a minute.
Like I'm in. It matters, and I'm super
a million meetings,
I'm super precious
a million
about it.
This, right? Of course, like
I'm super precious about it. I fucking care.
Yeah.
And it needs to go well. Full stop.
Yeah.
So everything, at least in the past, everything that I would do to try to prop that up had tremendous pressure on it. You see what I'm saying? So when I would meet a certain label or when I'd meet a certain person, and I'm like, I think this is going to be the thing. I think this is going to be that moment where blah, blah, blah is going to happen. That life-changing
moment.
Yeah, whatever it is, right? Because I have so much skin in the game, it never happened that way. Even when the cool shit would happen, it was never by like my actual doing. It was never because of, I'm going to meet that person, do that thing, and then my dreams are going to come true.
You're putting too much pressure on it is what I hear you saying. You can't put...
I'm just saying that the more you care about an outcome, the more likely it is that it is going to happen in a way that you do not expect. So if you are running full force in a direction and you're like, I know XYZ is going to happen, I'm just going to muscle through and rah. I'm telling you, prepare to be disappointed. If you're guessing how it's going to happen and you have that much skin in the game, you're probably going to be wrong. And when you're right, it's because you kind of don't give a shit.
When people are gambling, they say scared money don't make money. That's really what it
See?
is.
There it is.
So it's everywhere. This principle's out there. It's a known thing. Wow.
I mean, literally look at your life.
It's crazy.
Look at your life. Look at the things look at what you've been right about. Like, you know what? I thought that was going to go down that way, and it's exactly how it went.
No,
Prob's not.
No, prob's not. No.
You feel me? There's a podcast out there that's like, man, if I get this person on, this shit's going to go.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then they get that person.
And it doesn't go.
And it doesn't go.
Yeah. And now what? Yeah.
Right. But then it's like some other random shit that actually is the thing that goes.
Man.
Where they're like, what? I did not think that. You hear artists talk about this with their single releases. I think we were talking about this with Cardi B. I remember one time she said she was surprised that I Like It Like That got the play that it did.
I think you mentioned that. Yeah.
And she was like, the song is in Spanish. You know, like it's in the U.S. market. Why is this on top 10 radio for a really long time?
The last guest on the show was like the co-creator of Euphoria. And he said that these networks now have like algorithms, right? Literally, like they hire like people with like MBAs and to literally like chart and clock like what's working. So they create shows like that are just the same. And like 400 out of like 402 of those shows like go nowhere. It's like the one show that's like against the algorithm. It's doing some weird different shit like Squid Games or like just random shit that just explodes and becomes like something else. Yeah. But I think so we're digging deep here. This is crazy.
We really are. So. I look at everybody that is doing what they want to be doing or anyone that's successful as a reflection of their belief systems. Whatever's going on in a person's life, I just think it's a reflection of their inner world. Full stop. I feel like in places where I could be envious or I could have that like that green face, like, oh damn, I wish I was doing that or whatever. It always translates to what have they unlocked inside of themselves that I have yet to unlock within myself. For myself.
Beautiful thought.
Because it's going to look different. It's never why them, not me. It's like, damn, they've unlocked something within themselves, or they don't have a specific trigger that maybe I have that might come up as a block for me.
To me, how did that person expand their container?
Look at that.
Goes full circle.
Why, look at us.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
This is the type of teamwork we have.
Hell yeah. It's like if you say it, by calling it a container and I'm calling it unlocking it.
Yeah.
You know, for someone's going to hit into that epiphany feeling and maybe the other one isn't.
It'll
and
miss them.
Wild.
Yeah. That's so true. You might be a singer or a rapper or a comedian, you know, and you're like, man, like I want to be a singer. There's Lauryn Hill, there's Mariah Carey, there's Billie Eilish, the world doesn't need another singer, but only you can do what you do. Very much in the theme of what you just said, you might hit somebody in a way that these other singers ain't gonna hit in a bullseye kind of way like that. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
There's a signature on your DNA that will connect with somebody.
That is
in a way
so fire what you just said.
Thank you.
Yeah.
In a way that the next singer ain't gonna connect like that. You know? Podcasters included, myself probably included.
But I almost picture like when you get to Earth, you're given like a list of people you're supposed to help. And somewhere your name is on other people's lists, like people that are going to help you. And you're responsible for that list. And it's because you have a specific voice tone and you have a specific mindset and life experiences that have caused you to think in the way that you do that is supposed to be the gift. So if you suppress and don't share or you know, there's another Mariah Carey out there, I'm never gonna be as good as her. There's all these podcasters out there, like whatever, I'm just another one of them. Like great, another LA thing, quintessential LA thing. It's like, no, you literally are responsible for people out there by sharing whatever your desire is asking you to share.
Yeah.
And you've benefited from how many people? So how dare you have the audacity to suppress when you've consumed content and music and all this shit that somebody else gave you the gift of? You know, they didn't suppress. You cannot suppress in return. It's not fair.
It's like paying it forward. It's that principle of pay it forward.
Right.
Yeah.
To say you consumed things that inspired you and those people gave you the blessing by not suppressing.
Yeah.
So you don't get the right to suppress your desires and your expressions, because you are also responsible for helping people.
Yeah, this is non-negotiable. You have
Sorry.
to.
you can take a break. But we need you.
That's so funny. Take a
Is
break,
this thing
but
on?
we need you.
We need you.
That's so great.
I'm like over here like, yeah, I really meant what I said, but then I'm just like, damn, am I suppressing? Maybe, yeah. I'm over here looking.
Could you be suppressing?
I'm sure I am. I guess how can I not be if I'm working through triggers, right?
Yeah. That's real.
I think we both have had enough reasons to want to shut down based off of, times where being vulnerable and being open didn't go well, It was in our choosing to stay open. That was our own personal choice, but not everybody chooses that.
Yes. The walls we put up to keep out the pain also keep out the joy.
Facts.
Facts.
For me, in my body, it does not feel good to hide, lie, suppress.
No. I don't think a lot of people visualize. I think most probably don't visualize. And I'm like, what? Because I think that we're trained as a human being just to analyze what we can see.
Right.
We just assess what we can see. We're very,
That's a good question.
And that's why that's why mental health has taken such a long time to catch on, because we can't see it for most.
Oh my God. That
you feel
was
me?
An amazing point. It's crazy because that's like such an obvious thing now that you say it, but I've never thought of that before because you can't freaking see it.
Yeah.
Duh.
Yeah.
That's so fucking brilliant, actually.
So I want to close with this. We're going to both answer this question and the wrapping up of this episode so that we can literally reflect back on this question 6 months from now.
Oh, it's like a time capsule?
Yeah, like a time capsule
cool.
question. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll love this.
I do love it.
So, what is at the top of the heap right now for you into what you're working to break through on next?
Okay. I'm not going to filter this. I'm just going to say something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Try and say the first thing and
Feeling fully self-expressed musically, artistically, communicating the visuals or the message in visuals, and just feeling like I'm really embodying the artist that I know that I will be, just kind of becoming her. And it's not so much accolades or what it looks like on the outside. It's really about feeling like I've had the deepest exhale of my life. I'll stop there. Samson, what's at the top of your heap that you're trying to work through, this breakthrough that you're trying to have? What is it?
Being able to move more gracefully away from people and opportunities that aren't a match. That aren't a fit.
Yum.
When you're kind of at the more early parts of your deep healing work, like you kind of from a dating perspective, you're kind of just more like yearning to be chosen.
Right.
But when you've done a lot of the healing work, you now feel like you can kind of stand more poised and choose, more or less, right?
Yes. I mean, that's a beautiful way of putting that.
That's what I want to do for my podcast and my business. I want it to be the note for note, the same thing, but I'm not there yet.
I'm not
there yet.
I respect you so much for saying it. First of all, saying the actual words, but also I appreciate the intensity of which you've said it with.
Yeah, but that's why I want to be as honest as I could so that we could reflect back, be like, oh, dude, remember that version of you said this?
Yeah.
What? Now you're just like
barreling
down the fucking highway, just going.
I mean, by the rate that you've been going, I wouldn't doubt if it was like very, very, very soon. For real.
Where can people find you on the interwebs?
Yes. You can find me at Zalma, Zalma, Bour, Bour, all one word. Everything that I do is underneath that name. So IG especially. You can DM me. I'm here to chat, talk.
You're happy to connect.
Yeah, absolutely. I would be so thrilled to. And I have a collaboration project that I'm working on with a really good friend. His name is Ayotemi, and two others. So you'll probably hear music most likely coming from that project before maybe my solo. We'll see. Or
but
maybe
you'll post it on your...
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
It'll be everywhere it needs to be.
Exactly.
But I would be so happy to connect with anyone that is feeling connected to me and what we said. Thank you, Samson.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for the space. Thank you for honoring me with getting to spend time with you on your birthday. I really do feel so special. There's a lot of people that love Samson, people, for the record. So I feel very special that I'm here.
Teardrop. Hope you guys got a lot out of this episode. This was medicine for us.
For sure.
And we'll see you next episode.
Bye.